Hey, Craig.
It's on you, it's all on me. Can't you see? It's on you, it's all on me. You and me, can't you? It's on you, it's on me.
Hey, Craig. Right or wrong, we don't care. Win or lose, we don't care. We don't care. We don't
Hey,
care.
Jeff.
Craig.
We don't care.
We're back.
We are so fucking back, dude. Just like our football team.
Just like a football team.
Just like
We're
our
back.
football team. We're fucking back.
When we last talked, I was giving the most doom and gloom
I
preview
know.
of Ole Miss we could
I know.
possibly imagine. We were definitely a little confused after the Colorado State performance. Like, maybe we're not as shitty as we thought.
Maybe.
And then,
But it's like, come
and
on.
then-
They're still going to Ole Miss. It's going to be so hard.
yeah, and that was, I don't remember what episode that was, so I don't remember what episode this is. I know that
That was 240.
I'm Craig Powers. This is Podcast versus Everyone, episode 241. With me, as always, Jeff Newser.
Hello.
And Jeff, yeah, like a lot happened on the football field since we last recorded. Some
yeah.
surprisingly heartbreaking losses,
Yeah.
and then a dominant win, which
Yeah.
has become those heartbreaking close losses to ranked teams on the road, bookended by these two dominant wins.
Yeah.
Is very encouraging. Very
Well,
encouraging.
I was going to say,
yeah,
I got to
go
ask
ahead,
you,
go
did you ever think you would be so excited about a win over Toledo?
No.
Like
I
mean, we're all over here like, fuck yeah, we beat the shit out of Toledo. We are back.
well, it's because we should beat the shit out of Toledo, and it's like,
I
thank
know.
God we still can.
and thank God we still
we can still beat the shit out of Toledo.
It's, this is the reality. This is the world we live in now, where
Yeah.
beating Toledo by 3 touchdowns constitutes evidence that we are what we always have been, or something. But I mean,
But
we joke, but it's like you said, on the heels of Ole Miss and Virginia and also Colorado State, right? Like that kind of started the run. I mean, on the heels of all that, it's like, man, you're talking like 4 really good performances in a row, when the 2 bad ones in a row were enough to make us start wondering, like, is this, like the Monday after I wrote, where I was
Yeah.
like, are we in the bad place? Like, is this,
yeah,
are we actually in the bad place? And obviously we're not,
well,
which
100,
is great.
118 points in 2 weeks, and there's supposed to be a defensive coach, as I yelled a million times in the stands at Martin Stadium in the fourth quarter of the Apple Cup. Well, it
You
turns
took
out
it to heart, Craig.
it took a little bit, but they sure can play some defense.
God.
After really reining in Ole Miss for most of the day, reining
Mm-hmm.
in Virginia. Honestly, it was the offense that failed them in the end of that game.
Yeah.
And then and then just totally shutting down Toledo, totally shutting down Colorado State. 4 games in a row, evidence. And they did it without their best defensive player against Toledo, Terrell, Bobby Boucher, and so that was even more impressive. I was nervous. We were driving from the pumpkin patch, listening to the pregame show, and they're talking about Terrell being out. I'm like, God damn it! If we lose to Toledo, like, because we're down guy, because we have no defensive line left.
Yeah, I mean, we're one starter. That's what we have left right
Yeah.
now. We have one star, Connor Lamb, right? No, Bryson Lamb. Bryson Lamb.
Lamb.
Yes, I don't know. Lamb. His last name's Lamb. I feel bad. I'm sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Lamb. If you are listening, your son is great. He's the only starter left. And it's like, I don't know what the fuck Jimmy is doing, but it's like they just keep like bringing, or Jesse Bobbitt, he's the defensive line coach. I don't know who to credit to, but they just like keep putting dudes in there, and they all keep performing. Like it's crazy. Like Toledo is a really good running attack. I know they were missing their best guy. You know, things are probably different if he plays, but like I mean, you're not going to get any sympathy from me when you're missing 3/4 of your starting defensive line, plus probably your number one backup defensive tackle also out.
Yeah.
You know, and then another defensive end and another defensive tackle. And it's just like, and they just keep rolling guys out there and they keep doing the job. It really is like, it is remarkable. And I've tried to think of good words, adjectives, like to describe it. But like truly, like what they are doing is I don't know, man. We've had years where the defensive line started getting hurt. I think a couple of years ago that happened during the second half collapse with Cam. They had some defensive injuries, and then that was kind of that. These guys, man, it just like it doesn't even matter who they put in there. Now the pass rush is definitely taken a bit of a step back without Stevenson, and this week without Terrell, not getting as many sacks. But still, like, to be that stout against, the running attack. I mean, Toledo has run the ball on everybody pretty much except for Kentucky week 1, and we did to them what Kentucky did. And I mean, it's just all of the comparisons are extremely favorable. Their backup running back went for 100 yards again against Kent State. Kent State's terrible, but Kent State's terrible. He ran against Kent State, couldn't do shit against us. I mean, all of these comparisons are getting super favorable, and it's like really, really fun to follow a team that is getting better as the season's going along rather than collapsing and kind of holding on for dear life, which is really what we had the last 2 years.
Yeah, we definitely had it's a different feeling. We had at the end of September, all we had was despair and doubt.
Yeah.
And with Dicker at the end of September, we would always be like, holy shit, are we going to make a run for the CFP?
Are we good? We might be good.
And then by November, it's like, no, we're not.
We suck.
We're losing to Wyoming at home.
While scoring 2 touchdowns with a quarterback who would get paid, $2 million like a month later.
Yeah. And not scoring at all in the second half.
Yeah.
But not to rehash that beautiful memory.
Are you sure you don't want to do that?
Yeah.
I mean,
anyways, we're looking forward now. And so that Toledo, it's still taking some getting used to these types of games. That 2017 had some games like this.
Mm-hmm.
When WSU had a very good defense and Falk wasn't always at his best. Definitely had some games like this, but it was never like this.
No.
Like this is a grind.
Yes.
That first quarter until halfway through the first quarter when WSU finally got his first down, and then Zevi kind of moved things with his legs.
Yep.
That was just like, I'm really glad I'm watching it or listening on the radio, because even just listening to the radio broadcast, they're just like, oh my gosh, like this is a dogfight, and it felt like Toledo had the upper hand through those first couple drives because they actually had a couple first downs. They moved the ball a little, but then WSU just broke the seal, and they got that first down, and then on a long second down, Zevi scrambled, put them in position to get a first down, and on third down, and then they hit that big play to Meredith, and then they didn't touchdown late. Zevi on the run on the keeper, out to the corner, and showing his value. And then he also showed later why he probably didn't have the job to start.
Probably not.
And this is exactly what we were concerned about before the season. Is he tends to huck it up at times and make bad throws, and he did that against Virginia, and he did that against Toledo. And luckily against Toledo, the defense did not let Toledo get back in the game after those interceptions. But we got the good and the bad with Zevi. Even the touchdown, Pap's first touchdown, blue ribbon, juggling, touchdown catch, leaping, juggling, touchdown catch, and such insane throw.
I was gonna say on another throw that also probably should not have been made, but it worked out, right?
Trust your guy.
Yeah,
and
results-based analysis, always the way to go.
Connor Papps' first touchdown, blue ribbon as always, and that was cool. 21-0. Obviously and then the second touchdown, incredible catch. Was it Freeman? Going up and getting it. Just
jumping a little too early, but working out okay.
Yeah, jumping a little too early, but apparently he can hang. Apparently he's got some hops. Yeah, because he hung up there. Because the receiver, basketball court. He stayed above that DB for a while, and that was like a third down, and they were pushed back. Mm-hmm. It was like from the 12, I think, or so. But they got a touchdown. So they had a couple fortunate touchdowns in the first half.
But that one was, I was going to say, that one was even a really good example of what Zevi's legs do for you, because, again, on that one, he sort of stepped up in the pocket, which was not a thing that he did a whole lot in the game where he was, and a lot of that is he wasn't able to, but the ability, he kind of stepped up right up the middle, and because his legs are a threat, all of a sudden, attention is coming his way. And
then it's one-on-one.
And then he can, make that throw kind of over the top with, Freeman singled up on a guy who's maybe not in position to really pay attention to where the ball is. So, it's the legs make a difference, man. Like I know that the interceptions drive us nuts. I'm sure the interceptions drive Jimmy Rogers insane. Like you said, I'm sure that's why he didn't win the job, and especially after, like, the thing was that, Colorado State and Ole Miss, he didn't throw an interception. And honestly didn't even make that many dangerous throws. So it's like, okay, maybe he's kind of growing, kind of maturing. And then my God, like especially the last three, right? Like the second one in Virginia, and then both of them, on Saturday were just like, they were just stupid throws. I don't think he's stupid. Yeah. Please don't take that the wrong way, folks. I'm not saying he's dumb, but the throws are very dumb. They're very dumb throws that should never be made. And, after 3 years as a starter at Bryant and then doing this now, like you would think, like, he would know that those are bad ideas. But, he doesn't. But the thing is, if without his legs as part of the attack, I'm not sure they get those 21 points in the second quarter, which is really what, sort of fueled the victory, made Toledo chase. They just did so much moving the chains with his legs. Toledo had to really respect that. Once they started incorporating that into the running game, Toledo had a much tougher time. They were just selling out so hard early on the running backs. The flea flicker loosened that up. The replay of that was hilarious, man. Like, they handed the ball off, and I swear 11 guys ran toward the line of scrimmage, and then it was like, oh shit, and there goes Meredith. But you just kind of have to take, I think, the good with the bad. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that if you put Potter back there, I'm just not sure that, like, his arm is able to open things up in the way that Zevi's legs are able to open things up, even with the turnovers. As much as we hate the turnovers, the truth is, and I know this probably sounds counterintuitive. It probably sounds counterintuitive even to Jimmy, but it's like, when your defense is this good, turnovers are not the end of the world, even though he would say, well, that's more reason not to turn it over, I'm sure. But the reality is we had two really bad turnovers, one of which ended in, I think Toledo took over on our 43. Mm-hmm. They advanced to the 20 and then went backwards 15 yards on a sack, ended up punting after a 10-play, 10-yard, 5-minute drive because our defense kicks ass.
10 yards, 5 minutes. Yeah.
So I think that, the interception suck, and I really wish they would stop, but also I think this year with this team, I think you kind of just have. I think you just have to live with it.
And Toledo's defense is not bad. It's pretty solid defense. Probably like a top half or more college football defense. Like it's a legitimate defense.
Some places have them ranked like top 40.
They have some potential NFL guys. They one of the guys that got a pick off Zevi's first pick. It was his fourth game in a row with a pick. Like, and they had a real stout run defense coming in. So you always have to take some of that like with into account. Now Zevi's overall passing numbers, 10 to 22 for 159. No, that's not gonna always cut it.
No.
2 picks, 2 touchdowns, one touchdown that was frankly pretty damn lucky. But his legs, like they cracked that defense with his legs. Like it wasn't going to happen.
Yep.
Without him, he got some scrambles and he was able to run for a touchdown. And then they had to recognize that, and we saw that Kirby, relative to this offensive line, which. It's no surprise at this point. Like they're not the greatest run blocking unit or pass blocking unit.
It's a struggle right now without Hilborn, man.
Yeah. And so, like the rushing numbers don't look great for the running backs. But if you're thinking about what they were looking like earlier in the season, and now you have Kirby 63 yards on 15 carries for a carry, and he had some tough runs. Like he really, and then Leo had a couple real nice runs. He ended up with 23 yards on 5 carries. Those two have obviously, Kirby especially. We saw them switching out more. Kirby's definitely getting more of the carries now, and I think Leo has passed Angel Johnson, who is he had a couple nice runs against Virginia, but we saw the potential against Virginia, but it's those, you can't just hope for that all the time, because he takes some plays where frankly he should get 4 or 5 yards and he gets nothing. Yeah. Cause he just dances. Yep. He doesn't see, his vision is not good. It's gotta be a vision thing. Cause like he waits for a hole. He's like too patient at times. Yeah. And then he's not a big guy. He doesn't like shed tackles very well. And so once he gets surrounded, it's over. And so, and I think we're seeing him more and more get, fewer and fewer carries. Like, and I think we'll probably see Leo get a little more run. They like to throw to Leo too. Yeah. Now I would love to see them, what they did earlier in the year. They split Angel Johnson out. Yeah. And it seems like he could be a real weapon in the passing game. Yeah. And I would like to see them maybe run a screen for him. Maybe do more running back. Do something. Because he is obviously like quick, and he's fast, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. So I don't know, like figure something else out. Just handing the ball off on inside zone or whatever is not working for him. Yeah, that's not. We need to get him into space. Like he can't just have the ball between the tackles and hope something works out.
Let me hit you with a couple numbers here. So I'm on cfbgraphs.com, right? One of our favorite sites. And one of the stats they've got is they have yards before contact, yards after contact, and then explosive run rate. Okay. So I'm looking at WSU's top 4 rushers, which includes Kirby Voorhees, Leo Pulalasi, as you said, Angel, and then actually Zevi. Okay, so I'm going to put Zevi in this as well. All right, yards before contact, right? So this is how far you run before you get hit. Okay. Zevi, 2.63 yards before contact, which does make a little bit of sense.
Quarterback should have the bigger one.
Right, because if he's scrambling, he's going to pick up some yards right before he has any contact. Okay. Kirby Voorhees, 2.36 yards before contact. That's kind of in the middle, like 40 to 60 percentile. Like, so it's pretty average.
Do you think that is that from the handoff or from the line of scrimmage?
I don't know. I would guess line of scrimmage. So it's 2.36 there, and then Leo Pulalasi 1.7, which is sort of like in about the 40th percentile, I think. And then Angel Johnson 0.14. Like,
Yep.
he gets hit as soon as he gets to the line of scrimmage. Now, they're all running behind the same 5 guys. Like, there's no difference. They're not the line's not blocking differently. Now, in theory, I don't know. Like, I've not gone and charted plays. I don't know if they're calling different kinds of runs for Angel Johnson. I don't think they are. I think, in fact, it very much seems like they're calling the same kinds of runs, and he just doesn't see it. I mean, like on Saturday, he had one run. It was like a little zone thing, and he got absolutely annihilated by I think it was a linebacker, with a run fit coming up in there, just blowing him up. And I'm like, how do you not see that? Like, how could you not? That's like your job as a running back is to see where the hole is and go. And so he just doesn't see it. And I'm not here to like shit on the guy. Like, obviously that's not his strength. So the coaches need to put him in a better spot. And if they think he's that good of a weapon to keep giving him the ball half a dozen times a game, you got to put him in spots where he can actually do something with that stuff. I mean, his explosive rate is the lowest of all of them, including Zevi and Voorhees and Leo, right? His explosive rate is under 7%. Kirby is like 8.2. I want to point out Leo Pulalasi, okay? His explosive rate is 13%, meaning 13% of the time he carries the ball for 10 or more yards, okay? That's best on the team by a lot. Well, other than Zevi, but again, we've sort of established why quarterbacks kind of maybe are better there. It's far and away best with the running backs. Like, okay, so my question for you, are we sleeping on Leo Pulalasi too much? Because I know for me, I was sort of like, oh, Angel Johnson, shiny toy, Kirby Voorhees, like, look at this guy, he's so tough. Oh, Leo, he was on the roster last year. He's, whatever, he's fine. And I'm thinking maybe like we are sleeping on this guy in a way that we should not.
Well, Leo largely was like a short yardage back and used as a fullback at times. Yeah, last year
he's a big kid.
He is big, but he has shown like he's had a few, what we see, it fits with the stats. Like he's had some really nice runs. And
he's big and he's strong and he could break a tackle.
He has the ability to break a couple tackles and then get into space. And he's not outrunning everyone,
but he's not slow.
He's not slow. He has good vision. He sees where to move, and yeah, he had a couple. He had one run in particular that he just ran over 2 guys.
Yeah,
and got like 9 yards, 9 or 10, and Voorhees has that ability too, and we need that with this offensive line. And I would love to see those 4 carries that Angel Johnson got. Maybe you still run him out there on a 3rd down or something, but I would like to see Leo run the ball a little more.
Yeah.
Get some more time in there. He's proven that he has the ability, and so I'd like to see him get some more run.
Yeah.
And yeah, we know this guy. Like we don't have many guys like that. So it's like, oh my God, it's like a multi-year Cougar football player.
Well, it's like, how old is this guy? We've had him forever. And I'm like, he's like a fucking redshirt sophomore, man.
Yeah. Only his 2nd year playing.
Like, yeah, it's only his 2nd year actually playing enough. I will say, by the way, I'll point out his yards before, so to kind of riff on what you were saying there, his yards before contact is below average, but his yards after contact is pretty well above average. And so like, that's kind of how he balances it out. Like, he does take contact pretty close to the line of scrimmage, but like he's really good at breaking tackles, picking up more yards after that. His yards after contact is double anyone else on the roster. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
maybe we need
and
more
so-
carries for Leo.
More Leo.
More Leo. More Leo.
Podcast for everyone adores. You're in
That's
the
right.
podcast for everyone fact center. The best damn running back on the team is Leo Pulalasi.
Best running back in the Pac-12. No, we'll talk about that. It might be. He might be, by the way.
I don't-
might be true.
Oregon State always has like 3 really good running backs, but maybe not this year.
Not that.
Um,
They still got Hankerson, but apparently he can't do shit either. Hey, something that you said earlier that I want to get your thoughts on, because I'm like I was thinking about it this week, and then you hit on it, and I was like, yeah, I want to talk about that. The stylistic play, the way we play, which is not always super entertaining. This idea of get a lead and then just shut her down, which we've done multiple times this year. And to be fair, has worked, right? Like, we're not talking like, Jimmy shut it down and then we puked up a lead and we're like, why the fuck did Jimmy shut it down?
Well, Virginia. But
What's that?
Virginia didn't work
yeah.
out so well. But
I don't think that was a function. That's just me. I don't think that was a function of shutting it down. I think that was a function of just running out of gas. For me, that was it. But anyway, we could debate that. Just in general, it hasn't bit us too much, even if we stipulate that's what happened with Virginia, right? But here's the thing. Okay, so a common, as you know, but I'll say it, for the podcast, for folks who are not on our premium Slack. By the way, you can join 30-day free trial, podcastversuseveryone.com/upgrade. Come join us on the Slack. A common topic of discussion is attendance. People get all kinds of consternation about attendance, how many people are there, how many people are coming, are people supporting? And I don't want to poo-poo it too much, because obviously Jimmy cares about it too. Jake cared about it a ton. Jake whined about it constantly. Jimmy has mentioned, hey, we need people there. I get that they want to play in front of people, all of those things. Also, when you play a style like this, I wonder, obviously winning is what matters, but I kind of feel like if you're going to play like this and you're going to be in these rock fights week after week, you got to win a fuck ton for people to actually really buy into it, right? As an identity. Where people get fired up about a second half where nobody scores any fucking points and you're super excited because we didn't allow a fucking point in the second half, and that is WSU football, baby. That is you got to win a lot before people are going to be really excited about that. And so I do wonder a little bit, and I'm not, again, I'm not trying to minimize what they've done at all. It's awesome. And also, you're talking about a program that sort of has always been at its most successful scoring points. People are used to a certain entertainment value, right? Even when it goes badly, 2019 UCLA or whatever, or Cal, Connor Halliday, Cal 2014, or 2013, whatever, 2014, right? It's 2014. Whatever that was. There's a certain entertainment value to the fireworks. With this, it's like you said, we all watched it and we were sort of it wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing game, but hey, we won. That was awesome. I do wonder a little bit about, can you win enough at Wazoo to play that kind of style and get fans really behind you? Am I making sense?
well, can I add some qualifiers here?
Sure.
Mike Leach won a lot of football games, and they still, against Pac-12 opponents, would struggle to sell out the stadium.
True.
Unless it was certain teams. And now the impact of the relegation has been very obvious in Pullman. And because even Texas Tech was a good crowd, but it took a while to sell out.
Yeah.
You know, obviously the Apple Cup sold out, but now we have, like, it's one thing, like, to your point, if we're a more offensive minded team and we go out and play Toledo and La Tech and, you know, beat them, 59 to 28 versus 28-7.
Mm-hmm.
You feel 59 to 28 is more of a type of a domination that we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
And also you have a lot more fun moments throughout the game, a lot more frustration at times, but you have a lot more fun. You know, if you're putting up, you know, or maybe 42-21, whatever, your 6 touchdowns have been scored. This is like, when WSU scores a touchdown now, it feels like a fucking soccer game. Like
I was gonna say the same
like,
thing.
It's
goal!
like, holy
we scored
shit!
A goal!
Like you lose your mind.
Yeah.
Like it's a soccer game.
Yeah.
Because you know it's only at most gonna happen like 4 times.
Yeah.
Like at most. And so that's something to get used to.
Yeah.
A lot of empty drives that go nowhere. And obviously those happen with Leach, but also far fewer drives in these games.
Right.
Like these games fly by.
Right.
Like I don't know what the data is. And obviously there's so many stoppages now, and CW is milking those TV dollars, which obviously of course they're going
But all
to.
these games are just a little over 3 hours. That's what they are, right?
But yeah, they
where
are
3.5 or 3:45 is sort of the norm now.
It was pretty norm with the air raid.
Yep.
And with normal college football, you're 3:20, but yeah, we're shortening. There's far fewer drives, so the offense is not as bad as it looks. But it also isn't great. But yeah, there's not that many drives. I mean, you're looking. I think they had like 5 drives in the first half, and they scored 21 points. That's really impressive.
That's impressive.
But then you get 4 in the second half. You score 1 touchdown, and you feel like you're not scoring any. And the defense has like a sort of bend don't break element to it. There's not a lot of 3 and outs. They give up some yards, and then they get off the field. So they have a lot of 4 or 5 minute drives against them. WSU running the ball a lot. If they get a first down, like they're crawling their way to first downs often. Like they're getting like 3-4-4, 3-4-4, and then maybe a shot, but 3-4-4 again. So like there's not a lot, not near 12 incomplete passes. There's only 20. Like that's all WSU. It only had 12. Like 12. If a air raid quarterback had 12 incomplete passes, they threw for 80%.
Yeah, I was gonna say they threw 70 balls in the air, right? They put 70 passes in there.
Yeah, so it's such a different. It's different.
Yeah,
you have to adjust to it. I mean, if they win, it's fine. But is the, you know, when you go and watch the highlights before you go to bed, is it as fun? No. Especially now that they have AI put them together and there's some random ass plays that go in there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool. Thank you for showing me this 4-yard loss.
Yeah.
Like I thought this was a pro
or showing me the referee review, the replay.
Yeah.
Review.
Like, why is this in there? What you look at? You're like, how in this game is the highlight package 20 minutes long? It's because there's so many. Well, thank you for showing me this 3-yard Kirby Voorhees run. I really needed that. Really needed that in the highlight package.
I mean, look,
they have like a couple times they'll have like a first down by the other team that snuck in there. Like
I know. I mean, ultimately, sports are entertainment, right? And Jimmy would say that his job is to win games, right?
Yeah.
Like, you brought me here to win games. We're winning games. What the fuck's your problem? Like, I'm sure that's what he would say. And I'm like, as a fan, look, I'm fine. Listen, I'm going to watch all the fucking games no matter what. Yeah. You and me, we're watching everything. You know, you're fucking flying back at, you know, some ungodly hour from New York to go to the game against Louisiana Tech so you can fly to Seattle and then fly to Pullman and then like spend all day drinking and watching basketball games and shit on like an hour of sleep or whatever the fuck you're gonna do. Like we are the weirdos, right? We are the psychos. We are not the folks that you need to try to entertain, right? And so that's kind of the thing that I wonder is ultimately sports are entertainment. Ultimately people want to be entertained. You know, are people going to feel entertained enough by this? Is Jimmy going to be able to win enough? And I don't know what the threshold is. Are we talking, 8 or 9 wins a year with the occasional conference championship? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it's just, and it might just be people just need to adjust to something different. And maybe, I don't know, like you know what it was like when Dick Bennett was the basketball coach. Like and Tony Bennett, like we wholeheartedly embraced the whole defensive identity in basketball.
Yeah.
Maybe that can happen in football as well. I'm just kind of curious to see, because it is just so different than what we've been used to, the way that we've been used to being entertained by our football teams, win or lose. It's always been exciting. This is sort of like win or lose, not exciting in general, which is like, and maybe that's a me problem, maybe that's an us problem, but either way, it's, it's maybe a thing, maybe it's not a thing. I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
People will always find, you have an offensive focused team, the defense. I just don't trust it.
It's true.
And then the defensive focused team, but I wish the offense would do more. And it's just like, we're going to be yelling at our offensive coordinators. We're going to be, whatever. And it's instead of yelling at our defensive coordinators. So it's like, it's whatever. It's still football.
Just keep winning, man.
It makes it's very much like we've watched the Seahawks for years. This is some Pete Carroll ass football we're watching, dude. Like
it's true.
There's a lot of runs and then a bomb down the field and it's keep keeping the score close even when it doesn't need to be, like things like that. That's just how it is. And any Seahawks and Cougs fans, I think the Seahawks Cougs fans will adjust.
Yes,
because even now that's what the Seahawks are like. Like it's just the Seahawks identity at this point.
Yep.
And so you just got some Seahawks ass football in the Palouse now, and if we were still in the Pac-12, the old school Pac-12, I'd be like terrified that we have a run first, defensive first coach, but I think in the conference we're going into now, the new Pac-12, in the environment of college football, this might be the kind of the different approach that is needed, that the air raid was and that spread football was, and
that's
so
a legit point.
It's like it's. I think I've brought up before. Maybe I don't know if it's just me and you. I've brought up. I always think back to when in Kyle Smith's first year when they were posting up Jeff Pollard all the time, and we were like, "What the hell?" And we had John on the podcast, John Andershek, who was the assistant coach at the time, and he said like they just saw like teams don't defend that anymore, so they have no idea how to defend it. So like teams will see spread passing attacks every week, constantly, all the time, and then we'll be that weird change up once in a while. I mean, we're still like a spread offense, like we're like in terms of how we line up. Yep. Like we're running out of the shotgun. We're running like all that. They did. They are seem to be now. They are incorporating some under center and short yardage, which I like to see. Even Leach did that. I don't know if you remember Luke Falk's sophomore year.
Yeah,
Luke Falk had a couple QB sneaks for touchdowns.
Yeah, I know, that was weird.
Yeah. And then Luke Falk was just, they weren't going to do that with him anymore by the time he was older. But but it's I would just like to see the offense be innovative a little bit more, probably, especially in the run game. it's kind of the same runs over and over and over again.
Yep.
Which yeah, that's the air raid had the same run over and over again, but that was just, they only ran the ball if there was space to run the ball. But yeah, I don't know what it's obviously I'm kind of crashing out right here over it, but we're just gonna adjust and we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, it'll be good.
But yeah, we got Oregon State on tap.
Yeah,
The
let's talk a little about
lowly
that
Oregon
one.
State Beavers,
Yeah.
who have had we thought we were down bad earlier in the year.
Yeah.
It was nothing.
No.
Oregon State's been going
Nope.
through, dude.
Man, they started 0-7 and then fired their coach. Now, not just any coach. This was their, alumnus coach who was seen as such a rising star that they gave him a $2 million a year contract. Now, $2 million bucks, not like a huge amount in the grand scheme of college football, obviously. But had he made it to the Pac-12 next year, he would have been the highest paid coach in the conference. Assuming everything else stayed the same, he would have been the highest paid coach in the conference. So, yeah, they fired him after 0-7. Oregon State, if you guys don't know, Oregon State is a fucking mess right now. Like the whole operation is a disaster. We talked weeks ago about their NIL company that they signed with. Well, they have since terminated that deal. Which apparently cost the AD his job. I think that's not final yet, but it's been reported that he's on his way out. So yeah, no AD, no head coach. They're heading into a new conference. They're 1-7, but they do have one thing going for them, Craig. The one thing going for them that we all should be apparently terrified of is that Rob Akey is now leading the Oregon State Beavers. And this is supposed to strike fear in the hearts of Coug fans everywhere. Does it strike fear in your heart, my friend? It's okay. You're still there.
Is it? Am I sounding all right?
We got you. You're good. It sounds a
just
little
said
worse,
it-
but you're all right.
No, it's because it's my fucking my mic clicked off and it won't click back on.
Yeah, just roll with it. You're fine.
That's what's going on. It just clicks off on its own. That's why it was doing the other day.
Weird.
Oh, it's fucked. Now it's all jammed inside. So I think that doesn't make a difference if
You're
we're over
good.
here, right?
You're good.
So
You're
it's
good.
it's just my headphones then.
You're good. You're on the headphones. Sounds fine.
Yeah.
Are
Okay.
Are you properly terrified of Rob Akey?
Yeah. So sorry about that. But I need a new mic, Jeff. Literally
Let's
the
dip
button,
into the budget.
the on button just jammed inside of the mic. So that mic is
sucks.
toast. So yeah, am I terrified of Rob Akey? The defensive coordinator of my freshman year, 2003, I loved and still do love that man to death. Like, he was just so much fun to watch on the sidelines. He's got the scruffy voice.
That's
You know,
right.
Yeah,
We're playing defense.
we're playing the defense. But I also remember 2003, obviously one of the greatest defenses in Cougar football history. But that fucking defense was stacked. It doesn't matter. Also, it was still Bill Doba's defense, but like it was
Totally.
that
with
defense
with
was so
NFL players on it, by the way.
literally like the whole secondary was NFL players that like just stud linebackers, stud rush ends. Like it was just an insane defense.
Yep.
But I also remember the 04, 05, and 06 defenses, especially those 04 and 05 defenses, which were paired with some very good offenses, but not great results.
Yep.
And then he obviously had one real good year at Idaho, a lot of other not so good years. So what people are afraid of, and I know it because is what Akey has a reputation for as being like a motivator, and he can get people up to play.
The chief, I called him the chief vibes officer on our Slack the other day.
Yeah, which totally. Like he's vibes. Like they're not gonna change. He's not coming in and changing everything. We saw someone was it who was it Jim Moore? I don't know who was worried about the blitzes that Rob Akey dialed up in the
Yes.
2003 Holiday
Back in
Bowl.
2000, yes, to stop Vince Young, like freshman Vince Young.
And major was it who was the starting QB for Texas?
I forget.
It wasn't Major Applewhite, was it? I don't know. It was
Uh,
one of those
might
guys
have
with a
been. I
real
don't know.
Texas.
It was one of
He had
those
a real
white
Texas
guys
name.
who wasn't actually good. Yeah, after that though, like you were there for the whole thing. Like after that, it was not great
Yeah.
on defense.
As all those NFL players slowly bled away, I mean, you still had, Eric Frampton and a couple of the DBs that
Yeah.
were still really good, but as the talent left, like the defense fell off. It fell off a cliff in
Yes.
04.
Yes.
Like I remember we were 3-1 and hosting Oregon
Yeah.
and up big in the second half, and I watched that fall apart.
Yes.
And we were thinking, we were like, we got a good defense. Cristo Bruce is fucking murdering people,
Yep.
which he did, but it's,
But he was
that
kind of
only
the
goes
only
so
one.
so did Ron Stone and Brendan Jackson.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you'd only go so far. But I mean, you still have Payma on that team, I think. But Air Payman and Frampton. Now I'm thinking about it, they should have been better. Come on.
They should have been.
But they weren't. They were good. But yeah, he had a real fun year at Idaho. Like he's a football coach and
Yeah.
he's fun. We all love him at Wazoo, like, 'cause he was just such a personality.
Well, we
Yeah.
should. Like, if I saw him at the Coug, I'd be like, "Fuck
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
Rob! Let me buy you a beer." Like, I absolutely
Yeah.
would do that. The guy won a fucking Holiday Bowl on my honeymoon. Like, it was awesome, right? But
And he won a damn humanitarian bowl at Idaho, going
Yeah.
for 2 at the end,
good job, my
like
man.
a boss.
Yeah.
So
but-
yeah, like I get
mean-
why Coug fans, they only have they have those memories of like the 03 defense and
I know.
that one Idaho. Like, anyone who gets Idaho a good season in FBS is like
He might-
always like
he might be the only guy that Coug fans only remember the good stuff. like
yeah.
I don't know how many of these guys like we remember like all the bad stuff. Like
Well,
we
how
only
many
remember the good
times-
stuff with him apparently.
Dude, when Doba left, people were like, Akey. And then when Wolf was fired, people said Akey. When Leach left, I still saw people say Rob
yes.
Akey, dude.
Yes,
Like we love this man.
I know.
And I think it's just like because he was so fun. He was just such a
I
fun
think so.
personality.
I think he's the embodiment of what we think a Coug should be, which is like fun as hell and enthusiastic, and maybe we're just mediocre, but we're at least having a good time while we're being mediocre. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
But I think that's what gets people afraid of him is because they have such reverence for him. And
I guess
and so, but yeah, it's
it
not
makes no
all
logical
it's not
sense,
all,
though.
it's not all seated in reality.
No.
But it's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna be fun watching the game. Although I
Yeah.
got a birthday party to go to, and
Well, that's
I'll be
bullshit.
watching on my phone.
Yeah.
But
I mean, look, if Rob, I guess I would say this. Okay, this is not Akey's first job, first game in this position. His first game was 2 weeks ago against Lafayette College, not Louisiana Lafayette.
not Louisiana,
Lafayette College, tiny little university in Pennsylvania that is smaller than, like, say, the University of Puget Sound in Tacoma, right? Smaller than a lot of high schools, like South Kitsap high schools, much
But
bigger.
they are an FCS team.
Right? They are an FCS school, but, like, I mean, This is a tiny little school, right? Okay. And you can't look at that game and go, oh my God, all of a sudden everything's better now that Rob Akey's the coach. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, Paul Wolf beat the shit out of Portland State once too.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, they trailed Lafayette at halftime. Now, granted, Malik Murphy was the quarterback, and that's a whole nother fucking issue for Oregon State. That's the guy they paid $1.5 million to come from Duke, and he's been terrible. And they switched to, Jabari Johnson, sophomore, redshirt freshman, out of Lincoln High School in Tacoma, super athletic kid. All of a sudden, they switch to him. They go to an exclusive ground running game. They blow him out in the second half. Okay, great. But it's like, okay, if Rob Akey was all that, why didn't they just come out and curb stomp Lafayette from the beginning? Right? Like if truly, if he's that kind of a difference maker, wouldn't we have seen evidence of that? And I don't know, like at this point, it just feels like people are just, they're, and I do understand why it happens, but it just feels like people are just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And so they start like trying to like imagine
the other shoe
why this might go bad.
The other shoe has dropped. Like, what are we worried about? Like, we've already been embarrassed multiple times this year. Like we got blown out by North Texas.
I fucking love that, dude. We've already been embarrassed. Like what are you worried about?
Like you're a Wazoo football fan. Like how many times have you been embarrassed in your life? Like I get it. Like you don't want to be embarrassed again. And last year's loss to Oregon State was fucking frustrating.
It was horrible. Shit.
Like they did not have an offense, and we gave up 44 points. Like that was just nightmarish shit. And so I think that's a lot of it comes from that too.
But to which I would say
Corvallis has been like, even when we won, has been a fucking slog like to get there.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
I get people like can be afraid of the matchup because it's not like we're not like in a fucking incredible team that's gonna blow the doors off of everyone. But also Oregon State, we were trying to be like, okay, early in the season, they had a really tough schedule. They had a couple close losses, whatever, but they have just it's the proof is there now.
They're a
like
disaster.
They're just flat out bad.
They're not good. They're really bad. They're really, really bad. And there's nothing. Look, I'm not saying we can't lose. Obviously, we can lose. We could lose any fucking game, But as we've seen, right? Like, I mean, we lost to Portland State once upon a time. Like, we can fucking lose to anybody. Fine. But like Oregon State, that doesn't change the fact Oregon State's shitty, and we shouldn't be afraid of them. Like, what are you afraid of? Like, I don't know. They're bad. They're bad. They're terrible. I'm not afraid of them. We should win by double digits. I don't kind of know what else to say. I mean, Jabari Johnson's a running quarterback. I know people are always like, "Oh my God, running quarterback." As our friend PJ Kendall, right, erstwhile Coug Center colleague at PJ Kendall likes to say, everybody struggles with running quarterbacks. But like, I watched the second half of that Oregon State Lafayette game where Jabari Johnson led them to, 35 points. Listen, they went from him and Malik Murphy are two very different quarterbacks, and Akey is being very coy about who's going to start. I'd be very surprised if it's not Johnson, but regardless, could be either guy. They're very different quarterbacks. Malik Murphy, big kid. He's a lot like Tucker Gleason, the guy we just saw, very large guy, pretty good arm, just he's not super. He can run a little, but he's not mobile in that way. Johnson, on the other hand, is like a wide receiver playing quarterback. Like, he is fucking fast and he can really run. But the issue is he's not a great thrower, and against Lafayette. Lafayette was really keyed up to stop Malik Murphy. They bring in Johnson. They go to almost an exclusively zone read offense. Like, I'm telling you, dude, it was like zone read after zone read after zone read after zone read. And Lafayette was like, they were fucked. Like, they just had no answer for how to stop that running attack. And that's how Oregon State piled up all those points in the second half. But they were down by 3 at halftime. It took Oregon State, they scored 35 points in the last quarter and a half. They did it because they had better athletes, and they went to a scheme that Lafayette, frankly, just kind of wasn't prepared for. And it worked great. but like, you sure as shit they're not going to surprise WSU with that. Jabari Johnson comes in, they're going to fucking know what to do. Like, if we know anything about this defense at this point, they know what to do. They're going to be prepared. They're going to be prepared for two quarterbacks. They're going to know what to do when each of those guys are on the field. Oregon State is not going to be able to just go zone read, and gash for 20 yards a carry for the entire second half like they did against Lafayette. It's not going to happen. So I'm Jabari Johnson. Yeah, he's dangerous. If they start him or whatever, I'm sure he'll break off a long run at some point. But like, whatever, man. Like, he doesn't scare me. He can't beat you with his arm. And if he can't beat us with his arm, then we know what we can do with guys like that, and I think we'll be fine. I don't know. Maybe I'm probably going to pay for this, but like, I'm truly not afraid of anything that Oregon State has to offer.
That is where this defense has really excelled this year, is like daring quarterbacks to beat them with their arm.
Right.
And we saw San Diego State's quarterback struggle. We saw Toledo's quarterback struggle with that. We saw Colorado State's quarterback struggle with that. And, you know, that it'll be interesting. Like if it is Jabari, like if that is like how they deal with it, whatever. Yeah, if they get run over, I don't know. They get it. I get it though. I get the apprehension when you're like, it's a shitty team. You just wanted them to be the same shitty team that has just been consistently shitty.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want them to make a change, you know, suddenly leading up to you. And that's what, like, I people were saying earlier in the year, it's like, it sucks that we're catching Oregon State later. Because, like, it would be great to catch them in the midst of the mess. But honestly, like, yeah, you may get a dead cat bounce from, firing coach, bringing a new guy. But that might have been the second half against Lafayette.
I was going to say that the dead cat bounce was 2 weeks ago. like that was the dead cat bounce, if there was going to be one.
Now, one thing that I think it's fair, and it's happening a lot this season, is WSU has obviously been running the gauntlet, and Oregon State's coming off a bye, and WSU's doesn't have a bye until after this game, and they have just fucking played one home game in a month. They're not even playing another home game until the 15th, and they've been multiple trips out east. They play physical football. Toledo played physical football. They just, it's just been physical game after physical game, beating the shit out of each other in all these games. That if you want anything to be concerned about, that's what I would be concerned about.
That's fair.
Is just the, like, Oregon State got a bye in between this, and WSU hasn't had a bye all year, and they've been running. Well, I guess they did.
Yeah, we did a few weeks
earlier,
ago,
earlier in the season. But since that bye, it's just been it's been tough.
Yeah,
a tough stretch. But so Oregon State a little more rested, had 2 weeks to prepare, whatever. So that you can be concerned about. If you want concerns, Oregon State's not a good team. So if you're just setting yourself up to not be as disappointed, the 40% chance it's still like a 30% chance that Oregon State wins this game. Like, it's not like it's not crazy. Like, that's not a crazy thing to overcome.
Can I correct you a tiny bit?
What?
The aggregation of all the predictive metrics say that WSU is about 80% to win. Just so you know.
I'm looking at CFB graphs, and they say 40, but
the prediction tracker says when you put all 40 metrics together.
Well, still 20%. That's very much statistically
It's only 1 in 5.
significant. It's only 1 in 5, and we've seen WSU have that 1 in 5
have the one
as they did last year when they went to Corvallis.
But people bring up that game. I just want to say, I think that, like, in this era of college football, so much of how a team plays has to do with what they have to play for. This team has fucking nothing to play for. Like literally nothing. They have no bowl game. They have no head coach. They have nothing. Like everybody on that fucking team is thinking about what their next landing spot is. Maybe it's staying at Oregon State, but I guarantee a lot of them are like trying to figure out what the next school is they're going to. They're going to have they don't need, because they have no idea who the coach is going to be. They have no idea what so last year, Oregon State was like, they had to win that game to stay potentially bowl eligible, right?
Yeah.
They were, I think, 4-6 at that point. They had to win in order to have a chance to make a bowl game. They had a first-year head coach. They were sort of down bad, but like, okay, this was a game they could get up for. I mean, maybe that happens on Saturday. I just don't. I don't see it. Like, I really don't. Like, I think what'll happen is this. I would not be surprised if it's close early. I would not be surprised if they come out with some sort of tricky shit, scripted stuff to like do well early on with the bye week. They kind of script some things that they think they can do well with, because everybody pretty much is able to do that to some degree, right? But as soon as things get a little bit tougher and they can't move the ball, or we put together a couple of positive plays, maybe we score a couple touchdowns, get them in a 14, like it's 14-7 or something like that. I could see them, like, truly see them just folding at that point and us running away with it. Like, I don't know what it ends up being, but I do not think that they are, I just do not see them as rallying with some sort of like super inspired effort because Rob Akey is just that kind of wizard. Like, I don't see that.
Yeah.
I think they will fold quickly. Now, if we let them hang around forever, okay, all bets are off. But if we don't, I think that I just don't see them being willing to fight and claw and scratch the way that we have over the last month.
That's where the style of football can give you a little bit of pause.
It's true.
Because, like, yes, they did get up 21-0 on Toledo. That was not the norm. And so it's going to have, like, if we do something like that, back-to-back touchdowns. Yeah, that could effectively end the game in the first half. And so you hope for that. One thing I did want to bring up, this is a very unique situation for this football game, is that these two teams know they're going to play each other again in a month.
In a month. I know.
Or 4 weeks, whatever.
Yeah.
That's how. I'm just curious. Like, I'd be curious to, if you could get them to talk about it. Like, how do you approach it? It's not a thing in college football. Obviously in NFL, you play 3 of the teams twice.
Yep.
And you might think about, like, okay, if we give everything in this game, they're going to know everything for the next game. But, like, in college football, this is not, maybe like Alabama and Georgia might think they play each other in the conference title game later, but they only play each other like once every 8 years in the regular season anyway. So, but like, these two teams know they're going to play each other in 4 weeks. And like, I wonder just how that changes the approach.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, but I do think you're right. Like, Oregon State, this is their home game. They're going to pull out all the gadget shit. Like, there's going to be a surprise onside at some point.
Yeah.
And, and there's going to be trick plays and shit. They always do that against us. Like, they always do.
Yeah.
And through different coaches, they've always, like, they want to beat Wazoo. This is a rivalry, all right?
It's the weirdest, like, rivalry, rivalry I think that there is. Like,
we're gonna force ourselves, dude.
It feels like it should be rivals. Like bad blood, and there isn't. But I think it's because
we've always been like
rarely good.
We've always
at the
been
same
like we're rarely good at the same time. We've always, like, we have a lot in common, but that's where like we're too similar. We need some hate here.
Yeah, I'd be good with beating the shit out of them a couple times and getting some hate up. Like, let's go. Let's do it.
Like when we beat them, like 8 years in a row? That was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it was good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
I agree. Should we
They were
predict?
basically our homecoming team. Yeah. Uh, I will go first. I don't think I've gone first
Yeah.
very often. Um, I don't see like a huge blowout just because we don't score enough to do that. Um, I'm gonna go 27-14 Wazoo.
Okay. I see even a little more blowout. I'm going to go 31-10. 31-10
Cool.
Wazoo. I think it's probably pretty tight through a quarter. And then I see, Jabari Johnson getting bottled up. I see interceptions. I see short fields. I see continued evolution of our running game. I see carries for Kirby, carries for Leo.
See
Maybe
it.
cross my fingers,
He sees
getting
it.
Angel Johnson a creative touch or two. I don't know. Just give me. You know what? You know what would be perfect? I'm just going to say this. Since we're playing at Oregon State, can I please get Angel Johnson lined up in the slot for a fucking end around like they used to do to us with all the Rogers brothers? And like, can we just
Over
fucking
and
do
over
that?
again.
Like, can we just do a couple of those? Maybe, like go do that. I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking. Little, close-ish for a quarter and a half. Pull away in the second half. I'm like I said, 31-10 WSU, cover easily. Oregon State is in disarray, continues to be in disarray. Their fans continue to wonder how they fell so far behind Washington State, and we just smile. We just smile because we're friends, right? We're all friends. We're buddies with Oregon State. Like, we'll just smile and be like, sorry we kicked your ass.
We're not just fighting for the same resources again.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So predictions have been made. Now we've drank our beers,
I know.
Jeff, and
I've moved on to the old Crimson. I
Well,
still have
we-
a can though.
we're already an hour in, bro.
I know.
I'll
I'll be
We
fast.
started late too. But I have a little bit of a surprise, but I'll let you go first.
Okay. This is Ferment for those of you watching on the YouTube. Ferment Brewing Company. This is the last of my fresh hops. I was gonna drink it when we recorded like 3 weeks ago, but life was shitty. I feel like we owe our people an apology.
Yeah, sorry.
For not. It's just, dude. Folks, I'm telling you, it has been like crazy shitty 3 weeks. Like we have had sickness.
And there
Craig was on
one
a
of
work
them.
trip.
One of them I was just straight up not.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do
I-
anything.
I was literally sick for 2 weeks. I had one thing, and then I think I caught another thing right on the back end of that. As a school teacher, sometimes that happens. We've had a week and a half ago, we wrecked a car. That was lovely. So I'm dealing with that. We bought a car Craig and I were supposed to record last night. We're recording on Thursday. Supposed to record last night. We ended up going to buying a new car to replace the one we wrecked. And it was like 7:00, and I was like, okay, I think we're okay, Craig. I think I'll be home by 9. I think we can do this. And Craig's like, you're not gonna be home by 9. What the fuck are you talking about? Like you still got to talk to the finance guy, man.
Once
It's
you get
not,
to the finance guy, dude, it's hours.
you're not getting home. And I was like, well, they seem to be moving pretty quick, so we'll see. And then of course, I think I got home at 10. So.
Yeah, it was around 10 when you texted me.
I know.
Yeah,
So anyway, Fresh Hop Luminosa IPA. By the way, this is, just so you know, wild crafted in Hood River, Oregon. I won't, bore
how
anybody.
dare
with-
you, sir? An
I know.
Oregon beer.
I know.
When we
I
play
know. I'm
Oregon
sorry.
State.
It was the
How
last
dare
one
you,
I had.
sir?
And I will tell you, actually, it was really fucking delicious. One of the better Fresh Hops I had this season.
There's
So
no good beer from Oregon.
yeah,
No one's ever
sorry.
said that.
I'm sorry. I apologize, but this beer was much more of a winner than Oregon State is going to be this week. I'll just leave it there. So, all right, what's your surprise, my man?
So, well, first, I would say on the topic of a beer from a state. So, when I first started the Baxter's Beer of the Game thing, I wanted to track down a beer from every team, like at least the state of the team we were playing,
Yeah.
or whatever. And so I was able to get a Boulder Beer Co. chocolate stout
Yep.
for the 2012 game against
Yeah.
Colorado,
Oh, it was a great fucking game.
which
I have no memories of that game. Must have been good.
and and I was leading up to that game, I was already trying to track down beers for like I was on the East Coast in Vermont. It was not that easy to get like
No.
all the teams like get a beer from
Yeah.
Arizona, for
Yep. Yep.
example. And so and then after that game, I was like, nope, I'm not fucking I'm never ever ever pick like even when we played like UW, I try to pick like an Oregon beer,
Yeah.
something like but yeah, so now you got me worried. Now you got me worried, Jeff, because you drink beer from Oregon.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so
I'm sorry. You know what? At least I didn't drink like Block 15 or something. Like that would
okay,
be worse, right?
okay, so
Like a one from like Beaverton would be a problem. I didn't do
you
that.
mean Corvallis?
Or Corvallis, that's what I meant. Sorry. I got beavers on the
Block
brain.
15 is from Corvallis, yes.
Corvallis, that's what I meant. Anyway, continue.
So you might have noticed this was the beer in the intro I held up, I poured all that Citra fresh hop IPA from Ilk out of Olympia. But here I am drinking another all that Citra fresh hop IPA from Ilk. Well, uh, the other day, Amanda's dad was in town. We didn't feel like cooking dinner. I just went to grab some pizza from Round Table, and there's a liquor store next to Round Table, so I popped over, and I was like, oh, they have some beer, and they had some like 6-month-old IPAs, and I was like, but I was like, I'll get the fresh hop IPAs, and so this is fresh hop IPA 2025. I looked at the date on the bottom. Well, a couple weeks ago, the reason I picked it up is because I recognized it because it looked like this one, this all that Citra that I found in my fridge a couple weeks ago that has a date of September 2024. So I was in the back of my beer fridge downstairs. I was like,
That's amazing.
I don't even remember buying this or like I could see why I would buy it. It's a fucking sick can, and
Yeah,
Ilk,
yeah.
Pat's the head brewer at Ilk. He's
Yeah.
a buddy of
This
mine.
is why
and-
y'all got to watch on YouTube. Craig's showing
yeah,
the
like
can
it's
right
it's
now.
a it's a cool ass can. Like
It
it's
is a cool
as
ass
fuck.
can for sure.
But so that's probably why I bought it last year. But I'm gonna do right now. I've poured it, taste test, see how it compares to the fresh one I just drank. Because now it's a year aged in a refrigerator, fresh hot beer. I
That's.
tell you, it does not smell nearly as good.
I was gonna say.
Do you know what that old hop smell? Like that kind of metallic, like old hop smell?
Okay, I do because I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember that you brought me like a 4-pack of Heady Topper,
Yeah.
and I kept them in my fridge for like because I was like, oh,
Horrified.
I want. This was like I don't know, 10 years ago or something,
Yeah.
right? Like, but
It's like right when I
early
moved
in
back.
my beer journey where I did not understand like kind of how these things worked. And I was like, okay, I want to like space them out. I'm going to save the Heady Toppers for a special occasion. You were like, dude, don't do that.
Just
it's
drink
not going to taste as good. So yes, I know exactly what you're talking about because
Yeah.
I opened one,
So
like 2
yeah.
years after you gave it to me.
Oh. Yeah, so
Ugh,
this is
I know.
over a year old, fresh hop IPA. Smells old. Yeah, it tastes fine. There's no like fresh or hoppy, like it's all old hops. It just kind of tastes like a
Like,
malty.
does it just taste like a standard, IPA or something like you would get because
it-
you lose all that fresh hop quality?
Well, no, because it doesn't even taste like even a fresh regular IPA. Because normally I only like drink IPAs that are like maybe less than 2 months old.
Right.
I try not to drink because they really fall off.
They do.
And like the hops have totally fallen off of this. It's actually not that bad. Like the base beer is good, like the
Yeah.
base line. So it's just like a real malty beer now. Like it's not balanced very well. There's a little bit bitter on the back end. You don't have like the fragrance of the other one.
Which
But I
is sort
knew
of
it
what
wasn't-
makes the fresh hop, right? Like that's the thing that you love about it.
Yeah, you get that like vegetal, like fresh flavor, the aromatic stuff, and like this has none of that. But beer doesn't really spoil. You're not. It's not. It's especially in a fridge. It's probably
It's
held
not,
as
it's not gonna
well.
hurt you.
Yeah, like it's fine. Like it's a fine beer. Like it's a really good base beer. Ilk's a great brewery. Pat is a fucking phenomenal brewer. He was the first head brewer at Three Mags, the first head brewer at Matchless. Ilk is his own thing now. And yeah, like I recommend, trying Ilk out of Olympia. Good stuff. But yeah, I wanted to do this live on the pod,
Yeah.
and I wish it was worse so I could react to it more, but it's kind of just like it tastes exactly what I thought it
it's
would.
just-
Like,
now it's
like,
kind of it probably was really good, and now it's kind of mid, right?
no, it's just a beer.
Extremely
Like it's
good.
actually really drinkable because it doesn't have like any like it's just like the maltiness.
That's
It's kind of a light malt bill too. Like so it's just like a really drinkable beer now. Like
yeah.
probably too easy to drink for 7% or whatever it is. Only 5.8, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways,
Yeah.
two all that citras.
I love that.
If you can't see it on the bottom, but a year apart in dates.
Yes. That's fabulous.
Yeah, great stuff. Beer, yeah.
Beer.
That was one of our longer beer segments in a while. But yeah, now I'm gonna drink the rest of this and I'll be fine with it. But yeah, so beer, and I love alliteration. Beer, basketball, our other
Basketball.
favorite thing. Oh man, basketball is back. We have a whole bunch of new players' names to learn because that's just how it is this
It's so true.
era. But the WSU men, and this is such a weird thing. I remember when they used to do closed door scrimmages, and you would
Yes.
hear about them through the grapevine. And then like they would do exhibition games. I went to an exhibition game when I was at Wazoo against the EA All Stars,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
featured an
Yes.
an Ed O'Bannon who had crapped out of
Yeah.
the NBA at that
We
point.
had athletes in action. That was ours, right? Like the traveling missionaries of athletes in action.
But then we didn't see exhibition games maybe against like a Division II team or something.
Yes.
But now, like the last couple years, we've seen this exhibition games against other like
Division
like
I.
opponents, like
Yeah.
Division I, good teams. Like WC played New Mexico. New Mexico is a potential tournament team.
Yep.
Like they if not like postseason play, and WC beat them. It's not the same. Like they're both heavily rotating. But we're both heavily rotating.
What are you talking about, Craig? Hang on, Craig. We beat the shit out of New Mexico. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a fact that we're fucking better than New Mexico.
We have once again entered the podcast versus everyone fact center.
That's right.
Here in the podcast versus everyone fact center, we know
You can't argue.
that
Can't argue with facts. man.
Wazoo basketball is better than New Mexico basketball.
That's right. Can't argue with facts. Bart
I'm
has
looking
us,
at a box score that
Yeah, I
proves
know.
it.
By the way, Bart has us, BartTorvik.com, has us projected at 141. New Mexico projected at 90. Clearly, that
Okay,
projection is wrong.
maybe they're not a tournament team.
I just got to say, clearly that projection's wrong. So,
Yeah.
that's
So
a
if we
fact.
beat them by 8, that means they're obviously correct, 90.
Yes.
We are then in the 60s.
That's right. I don't know. I mean, New Mexico played a whole bunch of guys. I think everyone played like 20. Basically, they had a whole bunch of guys who played like 20 minutes. We seem to have something more resembling a normal-ish rotation. Yeah, I don't know, man. We got
So
a
many
ton of new
names, man.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
so
got a
many
ton of new
names.
guys.
So many names I do not know how to pronounce.
Yeah, we got European dudes. We got Imeli
Yeah,
Yalaho,
yeah. Emeli Yalaho,
Adria
Adria
Rodriguez.
Adria
That
Rodriguez.
seems like reasonable.
Jerome, not a Jerome.
Jerome
Morton.
with an N, as in Nooser, right?
We got our
Jerome
buddies. We got our buddies Andy Okafor and Thomas Thrasterson and Case Wynot and
Yep.
Parker Garrett still on the roster. We know all those
Still.
names,
Yes.
but we also have an Ace Glass the Third.
Yes, we
Ace Glass the Third, who
do. We have.
did not get a rebound
Yes.
in his
I know.
13 minutes. Ace
I know.
Glass did not
What the hell, Ace?
hit the glass.
Glass ought to hit the glass. He also had five turnovers and 0 assists. So that's the thing that happened.
He took he 2-2 from the free throw line though.
Yeah. But if we're going with the quick and dirty preview, which I think is kind of what we're going for today, Adrian Rodriguez, I believe he's from Spain. Kind of an older, experienced guy. And that seems to be where Riley went with the European recruits, was experienced guys who were a little older. I think that, like coaches are always looking for, sort of market inefficiencies with recruiting. That seems to kind of be the one right now for a lot of people, a lot of coaches, is looking at Europe.
Adrian Rodriguez is a little older, and he was born a month and a half before I graduated high school.
Okay. that says more about you than him, Craig. I'm just gonna say. But yeah, I mean they're going to Europe. They're getting guys who have played professionally but are still college eligible, getting them to come over, hoping they can step right in. And it does create a situation a little bit where you're not kind of sure what you're getting with the team. Like, for example, Bart Torvik, like I said, projecting us at 141. I think that Ken Palm's about the same. But also Bart Torvik is projecting us with Casey Jones as our number one usage guy. Casey Jones, of course.
Yeah, I need
Eastern Washington transfer who's not going to play.
I usually message Bart when he has those.
I did. I just messaged him tonight. I was like,
he'll probably pull it. He'll take.
Yeah.
I bet Casey will not be on there.
He will,
like tomorrow.
But I think that's sort of like underscores.
But then we're going to
point.
drop even more. We're going to drop.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like 160.
Yeah, but it sort of underscores the point that like we don't really sort of know what you don't really know what you've got with these guys that you bring over from Europe who are experienced. Yalaho was sort of like, okay, well, he's if I remember right, he's a lot older. He's like, I don't know, 23 or something. Pretty experienced guy. I could be wrong.
Well, yeah,
on that,
he's been to Boise, to Texas Tech, and then to here. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, you just kind of like put it all together, and you're like, you got these experienced guys. Adrian Rodriguez is going to be your starting point guard. And again, European guy with professional experience. You're just not quite sure, what you're going to get. It does seem like there's an emphasis here on, defense in a way that we, maybe we're a little not seeing last year. I know that, Riley
definitely will be welcome.
I will. What's that?
It definitely would be welcome. Emphasis on defense and like you said, turnovers.
Yeah. But we did commit 19 turnovers in the exhibition.
But it's an exhibition,
I don't
Jeff.
know.
Whatever,
I do. I mean, I will say this. I do wonder, like, I feel like coaches are who they are. So I Riley can say what he wants to say, and I get it. But also, like, I don't know, man. You got a 4-year track record at this point of teams committing turnovers at least an above average rate. Defenses being not that good. So I don't know. We'll see. I am optimistic. I'm excited for this team. I don't know. Andy Okafor had 14 rebounds in this game.
Yeah.
He was a fucking horrible rebounder last year. If he can do that, I mean, that's like a major like difference. If he suddenly is a really good rebounder, which doesn't usually happen. Rebounds are usually a pretty stable metric in terms of players. They sort of are what they are in general, but who knows, man? I mean, he's certainly got the physical tools to be a better rebounder. If they can get that out of him, that's a big deal. And then the other thing that caught my attention was Jerome Morton, who we talked about, probably your starting shooting guard. He got to the line 13 times, made 10 of 13 from the line. He was 0 for 4 from 3, but whatever. I'm sure his shooting will be fine. The fact that he got to the line so many times, again, exhibition, so whatever that's worth, but still, it's a pretty good sign. So I like that.
We know that one game's worth of threes never tells you much. Yeah.
Nope.
Jordan Morton from
I don't know,
Lexington,
anything stick out to you?
Kentucky.
True.
And he did. He had some solid numbers. He shot 37% from 3 at Morehead State his last year there.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
I
I'm
wouldn't
not
worry
worried
too much
about
about 0 for 4. But getting to the line, that's cool. Yeah, honestly, yeah, him getting to the line a bunch stood out. Them winning stood out. Like I know it's an exhibition game, but like it's nice. Like
It's definitely nice.
it's
sure.
nice, and then it's nice to have some stats to look at. But yeah, Okafor getting boards. I hope that's some miraculous thing they have it, because if he doesn't get boards, I don't know who's getting boards on this team.
Yes.
Tomas is a good rebounder for his size. I mean, he's a thick dude. I'm curious to see, what role he plays. He showed some flashes of some legit, like legit D1 power conference baller shit last year.
Yeah.
But obviously we were like skeptical because of the level of play he played against in high school. But he definitely showed he's got the physical tools, and he had 13 in this game and decent efficiency. So yeah, I'm so like we just need to see him play, man.
Yep.
And that happens very soon. November 3rd.
Yeah. Monday night.
They're Monday night hosting Idaho.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Idaho, I don't know. They're probably bad. But they're
Bart's
at
got 'em at-
244 in Ken Palm.
I was going to say, Bart's got him at 179, actually.
Ooh.
So he says 7-point victory for the Cougs, 75% chance of winning. So
It's funny.
could be an interesting
So,
game.
Ken Palm has us at 137 and Idaho at 244.
Okay.
And it's still 79% for the Cougs, 8-point. So it's not that big of a difference.
Yeah.
It also shows you, honestly, like once you get past like the top 120 or so in these
Yes.
rankings, there's not a lot of difference between a lot of the teams.
Yep.
Until you get to like the 250s and 300. Like that's when there's the really bad teams. But
Yeah, you get down to like
there's
the
a lot of
100.
there's a lot of bunched up teams that just aren't very good, and
Yep.
a lot of shit could happen in a game.
Yep.
And there's not that big of a margin between them. It's usually like the top like 20 teams are like, top 5 are like really good, top next 20 are good, and then there's a lot of like, yeah. We've seen the bubble. We've watched teams fight on the bubble for years.
Exactly.
Even that 45th best team is like kind of shitty. So it's like even if we're 100 spots ahead of them, it could not be that, it might not be that big difference. I would
Yeah.
hope that this for some faith at David Riley, even though he didn't instill a lot of faith last season for me, got to be better than what these projections say. It got to be. Like, we were spoiled with Kyle Smith. They were always better than the projections. And we were just got used to that. Like, yeah, we should have teams, outside of like Ernie Kent and Ken Bones last year, you should have teams that are like better than what people think they're going to be. And last year we were not. And obviously said Coward hurt didn't help. Obviously, he's in the NBA now and actually playing, and he's a good baller, and that didn't help. But also, they, there was times they didn't look, even with what they had left, as good as we would hope. And so what I'm hoping for this season is that we are definitely better than that 137 or 140 or whatever the fuck we're ranked at. I
Yep.
would hope we're top 100 at least. That would show me some growth, some movement and I know that's hard to say when so many players rotate in and out, but Kyle Smith had players rotate in and out, and they still, you know,
Yep.
got better over time. And
Yep.
so I would hope to see this program trending in the right direction. I'm not expecting an NCAA tournament. I'm not even expecting an NIT, but I would just love to see them get, be a top 100 quality team. That would show me that David Riley and his staff are good at identifying talent, and then they are good at using that talent.
Yep.
I know that they are facing much steeper recruiting hills than Kyle Smith's staff did as a power conference team. But I still, to win at Wazoo, no matter when we were power conference or not, you got to be able to identify talent in places that other people aren't finding.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe what you talked about earlier is, the inefficiency they will find in finding these, like finding guys that have played pro ball and are older and experienced and maybe have more physically ready for the 35 games, 37 games, whatever. And so I'm hoping. I want to see improvement. I desperately do, because honestly, Kyle Smith's last season was some of the most fun I've ever had as a Wazoo
Yes.
fan, and I
I
just
would like
want
more of that.
I want to get back to having good basketball, and I don't want to get back. I don't want to be stuck with like shitty basketball. So I think David Riley's a smart guy, and I think he understands what makes good basketball. And I just hope that his staff has brought in guys that can play, and guys that'll be fun to watch, and guys that'll win games. Guys that should be, a program that should be in the top 5 of the WSCC, like it should have always been. And so I'm just, I'm hoping for that stuff. And
Yep.
I just, yeah, basketball. I want you to be good, please, please.
Please. Please, please.
But we'll see,
Yeah. The women, I'm going to be super honest. I do not know much about what they got going on. I'm looking at Bart Torvik.
Still got Ella.
Man. Still got LA. LA Villa. Yeah, she should be awesome. Alex Coville anchoring the middle. Should be rejecting shots like crazy. Charlotte Abraham is the one that I'm sort of maybe most interested in as sort of like not really super sure what we're going to get. She definitely had flashes last year of being really good. And then also would sort of like kind of disappear for a while. So really excited about what she might bring to the table on that. We don't have stats, like official stats from the exhibition, but our friend Jamie Vinnick did some unofficial stats, which he was, obviously kind enough to share with us. And I will say LA and Alex Coville each led the team in points. LA with 17 points, Alex Coville with 19 points. 19 points to go with 5 blocks. If she could actually be a bit of an offensive weapon, that is a major development. If she's able to do that, because she is, as we know, so very tall, which has made her more of a defensive weapon than an offensive one.
Officially taller than me, as we proved.
Yes, as we know, right? She gave you the too small when we were there. But like, being tall in women's basketball isn't always an advantage. They call they call the game real weird
Well,
for
even in
tall
men's,
girls.
any basketball.
Yeah, it feels like it's even worse than the men's
No, it's
game,
definitely
to be
worse than
honest.
women's because honestly,
Um,
also the refs are worse.
so and also we don't play for we're not Stanford, so like that's sort of the other
Yeah.
deal as well. We're not Stanford or UCLA.
Yeah, Jamie had
So
commented that Alex got some tall girl
tall girl
fouls.
fouls, which are sort of par for the course at this point. So I don't know. Going to be interesting. The question, of course, is kind of where does the offense come from? That was the big problem last year. They would just go through, and that's sort of been a persistent issue under Cammy, the whole time. Offensive
Yeah.
slumps. Obviously much easier to get through those when you have someone like Charlize Ledger Walker, on your team, which we have not had now for a couple of years. So definitely very interesting.
Who will be playing this season for UCLA?
Yeah, who is playing for UCLA this season? Sad day. No, I mean we're not sad that she's playing, just sad that she's playing
For UCLA,
for someone else.
particularly
So
UCLA.
yeah, I don't know. Is the offense going to be good enough? Yeah, is the offense going to be able to score points? I don't know. Remains to be seen, I guess, because that's not always been Cammy's strength, and then obviously a lot of change of personnel. So I guess we'll see on that. But Coville, if she's able to not get into foul trouble, if she's able to stay on the floor, her ability to defend the rim is such a game changer defensively. I guess we'll see kind of what she's able to do offensively, if she can stay on the floor. So
And for they also start on Monday against Idaho at 11 a.m.
they do Monday morning.
Yeah, 11 a.m. Thanks,
Monday morning,
ESPN.
Idaho.
I don't.
By the way, I don't know why they don't just play those games back to back and let people stay for both games. Like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we not like game it?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, okay, so there's only a couple sections of reserve seats at women's games, and the rest of the arena is GA. The men's has many more reserve seats. Obviously, like the entire thing, except for the student section,
But
and
it
I
seems
think
like
that's
you
why.
could work this out and be like, I don't know. You
Well,
got a
for
women's
like this-
reserve seat.
Yeah,
I don't know. Feels like you could work this out instead of like playing one game at 11 and then another game at 6:00 or whatever the men's game.
well, yeah,
is.
like when it's Louisiana Tech weekend, I think it's 4 and 8, which makes a lot more sense. But they're still going to clear out.
Yeah, you're still clearing it out. Why
We're
are you
gonna
clearing
sprint
it
to
out?
the Coug,
Don't
have a
fucking
beer,
clear it out.
sprint back.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know. You could just be like, figure out where to sit, guys. I mean, I
You
assume
could.
I assume the men's game against UW the night before a football game is going to be pretty well attended for a non-conference WSU basketball game.
Yeah.
And especially they purposely made that thing at 8 so people could get into town for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's looking ahead a bit. But yeah, both have Idaho, and then the women travel to Las Vegas to play UNLV on Wednesday as well. They always play many more road games in the non-conference than the men do. Where do the men go after that? After Idaho? Thank you, ESPN, for showing me their last 5 games. Why am I even on this website? You're not helping me out here, Jeff.
Sorry, dude.
All right. Yeah, so men go on the road as well. Their only road game among the first 5 games is also really cool that UW is still coming to town. Like, that's nice.
Yeah.
But they're going to Davidson Steph Curry's
Woo!
alma mater.
I'm sure Steph
Going
will
to
be
North Carolina. Wonder what how far Davidson is from Campbell University.
there. Ooh, that's a good question. The old Camels.
Yeah, we really want to know. It's 2.5 hours. Campbell. I mean, Jeff, do you know the Campbell basketball schedule on top of your head?
No. I know they play on Monday. I know we're going to have to watch
As
Flat
most
Stick.
teams do.
We're going to have to talk to the folks at Flat Stick and get that game on.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be at the Sounders when
We're going to be Soundersing.
when Wazoo basketball plays. I forgot about that. Let's see. WSU plays on. Where did I lose? I lost it.
What are you looking for? Friday? They play Davidson on Friday.
Okay,
And
and
then
then
they come back home and play St. Thomas.
but Campbell plays at West Virginia on Thursday. So if
Ooh.
if our friend John wants to go see his buddy David Riley coach, he could
Yeah,
he
he
could go
could
on a
do that.
2-hour drive on Friday night.
I don't know.
We're
I
gonna
think he'll
we're gonna
probably be
ask him.
pretty busy.
No. Yeah, he's got to be preparing for Western Michigan after playing West Virginia.
John's pretty committed to that grind, man.
Grinding. Well, he might
Wait,
come watch Wazoo, see if he could poach any of the players.
Wait,
You know.
St. Thomas. I swore St. Thomas was like a made-up school. No, that's a Division I school. What the fuck?
I mean, there's so many Division I schools, dude.
It's true. It is true. Yeah.
The St. Thomas Tommies.
No, that can't be real.
They're the St. Thomas Tommies. I guarantee
No.
they had
Come
some
on.
racist. They had some racist Native American mascot before. I guarantee, dude.
Yeah,
The St. Thomas Tommies.
That would seem legit. By the way, St. Thomas became a Division I program in 2022, so that would explain why I've never heard of them. So anyway,
They're in St. Paul.
yeah. All right.
Anyway,
I'm just gonna go ahead and say I don't know shit about what's happening with the non-revenue sports.
yeah, and this is already too long. of a
Yeah,
podcast.
we've been long.
You could go look it up. Like volleyball won tonight. I
Yeah,
know that.
go to
to be specific.
WSUCougars.com. You can find out for yourself.
But
tonight.
yeah, once basketball's added to the equation,
Yeah,
it's going to be tough for us to
it's a little,
get to everything.
It's a little much.
Yeah. All right. Well, with all that, by the time we'll see each other as WSU is playing first basketball game. We're going to be watching on our phones, I'm sure.
Yes.
During the
Yes,
Sounders do
I
or
know.
die playoff
I
game.
know. Sounders gotta win against
Gotta win, baby.
the people who killed soccer. Fucking Minnesota.
Yeah. But yeah, so I guess all that's left to say is go fucking Cougs, Jeff.
Yeah, go fucking Cougs, Craig. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Get vaccinated.
Get vaccinated. Support a union.
Support a union, folks. Support a union. Fight fascism.
Yep.
Antifa rules.
Anti-fascist.
That's right. We are anti-fascist. Throw us in with Antifa. Come and get us. I don't know. Anything else? Any other liberal left-wing causes we can pimp here, Craig?
Free Palestine. Still.
Free Palestine.
Ceasefire
That's right.
didn't seem to mean much.